Everyone. Yes, again. Oh, I gotta get going. I just have to get going. I just came back from a very interesting talk with my daughter here about teenagers. And my oldest granddaughter is just 12, but it seems like, gosh almighty, it's already starting somehow. Young adults growing into adulthoods. They're just like when a brand new baby is born, right? Yes. And they have to learn all these different things, and depending on how they're raised, what care they're given, the love they're given, okay, sometimes that doesn't seem to matter because when they get into being a teenager, okay, hi June, you want to be part of the video? they It starts all over again. As a parent, suddenly you're faced again with a baby growing into adulthood, and they're not aware of, they don't have any kind of experience on what may come their way. And but they have their, oh yeah have it all figured out. I know, because I had it all figured out. By the time I was 14, I had it all figured out. I knew everything better than anyone else, and that was that. And it didn't matter what anybody told me. I was going to do my own thing, my own way, and that was that. With my children, since I knew that, I I had this one thing that I told my children. I said, until you're 18, I'm responsible for you, and I could be held liable for the things that you're doing as well. I felt like maybe that would give them some, inklings. Oh, well, I love my mom. I don't want to get her in trouble. Okay, all right, whatever, right? Yes? And I tried every which way to throw a wrench into their plans. Yeah, it was kind of, and supported them when I thought, yeah, that's actually really good. I'm going to support that. All I can say is to people out there, when it comes to raising children, it's a never ending story of trying to do the right thing. The difference here is that my mom gave me a lot of good guidance when it came to spirit life in a way, right? Yes. And on how God and Jesus were in our lives, and how we keep that connection. But I wasn't told on how to really apply that, actually, right? In my life per se, when it came to having to make all these decisions as a young adult. Because, hey, you know what? There were plenty of people out there, they wanted to go in a certain way when it came to me, and again, dictate on what my life was supposed to be like. Yes? Or what direction to go, which was not what I wanted. Or in any way, yeah, I was obedient to many different things, and but not necessarily happy in the path that I had to go. Yes. So the one thing that I see different here is on how I, as the grandmother and the mother of my daughter, I'm here letting her know, hey, and we have these discussions, and it's not necessarily always comes out, oh, this was so great, mom, thank you. No, it's, I remember, mom. I said, yeah, okay. So you remember that. But also remember that you're going to be in the same position that I was in eventually. And you're going to have to make choices as a parent, the best choices to keep trying to guide your teenager. That's not an easy thing to do. I think that as a parent, yeah, right now they have another baby here. So hard. No sleep, this, that. It is nothing compared to when your children enter young adulthood and you have to keep guiding them. That's the real test for parents, I believe. Yes? And gosh almighty, it is more times you will have to say no, be right there and put everything else aside that you want to do to make sure you keep an eye on your teenagers. Yes, that's how it should be, and that is how it is done. I find it interesting here with the book of Psalms. A lot of things, all these Psalms and this, a lot of it is happening in the temple. It's all given in the temple as songs, as praise, as whatever, right? Yes, it's a part of the temple. The temple is like a church. Is it? Oh, you know what? The one thing we can do is let's get our teenagers back into church. Is that really it? Or should your home be where they learn the balance between life out in the world and spirit life with our heavenly parent and Jesus and spirit world? Your home is supposed to be the church. That is that. Yes? I remember when True Father, yes, Reverend Sun Myung Moon, he says, I was never, in the 1940s, he finally had to establish a church. He didn't want to do that. He had to do that because he wasn't recognized as the second coming. The Messiah, right? Yeah, in the footsteps of Jesus. Well, read the Divine Principle. I think it's pretty amazing. Am I, so this, that? No, I, just like I've always done in my life, I see the value of something that has made a change in my life, in my family's life, in my ancestors' life, in my restoration path with my father, for example. Yes. And he said, I had to, and that is why I believe in the second coming. I believe that Reverend Moon, Sun Myung Moon, and Hak Ja Han Moon are the true parents, are the second coming, are what finishing up what Jesus started, and it's amazing. To me, it is amazing. So be it. And, oh, am I totally into that? No, I am out in the world. I'm kind of the support. Right? I'm an emotional, psychological, spiritual support to everyone out there that is still getting the people to the heart of God. There. Change of lineage. The blessing. Yes? Gosh. Go for it. If it don't do no good, it won't harm you neither. But you may just be doing something really amazing for your whole family. Okay, all right. By getting the blessing. Be a first generation. Okay, so he said that he wasn't meant to build another church. Right? It was just supposed to ripple all through the world amongst all the people to come back to God's origin. Yet he had no choice because and that always kind of stuck in my mind because I thought, yeah, that's everyone. Your home should be the church, if you want to look at it that way. Everyone's home should be where God has entrance. Jesus is there at your table, dining and yes, with you. And then according to that, the rest of the family is guided. Yes, regardless on what happens on the outside world. Yet, of course. And in a way, on how when I read the Psalms, and with the conversation I had with my daughter, I realized that why is there segregation, separation of church and state? Seriously, what does that actually mean? Oh yeah, church. It's not just about the separation of church and state that happens then. It's the separation of your home, your family, and the church. Isn't it? Well, you go to church, you hear all this great stuff. Are you bringing it all back to your home? Is it all happening in your home? No, it's not, because your home is not the church. Isn't that right? So every home should be what? Every home should have what? Within the family, acknowledged within the family. Spirit life, heavenly parent, and of course the brother Jesus. Good spirit world. It should all be there. No, it's being what? It is a part of what? Exactly. The church. That's not your home, is it? Just saying. So it was really interesting to talk to my daughter this morning about her having her. This is my first grandchild going into being a teenager, and some of the challenges that are coming with it, and on how to, what's the best guidance. Yes, yeah, very interesting. Um, and then I thought too, I said, I'm the first one. I am the first one. Okay, within my experience, this and that, who can give that kind of guidance to my children. My mom was 2,000 plus miles away, this and that. Again, I got a lot of spiritual guidance, but not necessarily the guidance on how to help me with my children. When it came to, yeah, this is what you did, and this is how I tried to combat. No, and so I'm a different generation. I'm an advanced generation to what came before me in my lineage. Yes? So if you have the chance, as a grandparent, do not shy away from having these conversations with your children. They're important. They're important for the safety and the life of your descendants. Yes? Okay. Well, anyway. Whew. And don't be intimidated when your children bring up certain things. Just go, wait a minute. You did not know at the time, or this or that. So, yeah. And let's not bring up things that will derail us from dealing with the problem at hand. There you go. All right, so we are in the book of Psalms. And this is book 5, Psalms 107 to 150. Ooh, to the end. Psalm 107. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, whom he has redeemed from the hand of the enemy, and gathered out of the lands, from the east and from the west, from the north and from the south. It's interesting on what I just mentioned, because I do feel redeemed out of the hands of my enemy in a way. The ones that want you to fall back on certain things that, yeah, but everybody is doing it. Everybody is, well, okay, well, I'm not everybody. I am me, right? Yes? In so many ways, I have to thank true parents for the strength and the constancy that they taught me. And I'm not going to veer away from that just because somebody says, yeah, but I have a better idea for you. Well, you know what? That idea, it's not new. It's an old thing. It's got plenty of people into trouble and misery and disharmony. And how about don't want to be a part of that? Done. I'm good. I've experienced too many things that are going in such an amazing direction that no, I'm not going to give that up for what? A momentary something rather that I'm going to be pulled into again. Yes? Well, there it is. So, yeah, okay. I like the beginning of this. They wandered in the wilderness in a desolate way. They found no city to dwell in. Hungry and thirsty, their soul fainted in them. Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he delivered them out of their distresses, and he led them forth by the right way, that they might go to a city for a dwelling place. Oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness, and for his wonderful works to the children of men. For he satisfies the longing soul and fills the hungry soul with goodness. So here's with this, here's the thing. That goodness was instilled within us in the origin of our existence. It isn't about, oh, God got me there, this and that. It's already there. We are the ones who have to acknowledge that. We're the ones who have to explore that and then have experiences with it. That's when it becomes consistent and the strength, you grow with it. You just look at situations and go, well, what's the solution? What's the purpose? Rather than, oh, I'm a victim. Oh, they could have gone different. Oh, I'm so miserable now. Do you know what I mean? Just saying. Oh, June's laying right in front of that. You guys can't see it because the camera is up here. She's laying right here, half on the screen. Those who sat in darkness and in the shadow of death, bound in affliction and irons, because they rebelled against the words of God and despised the counsel of the Most High. Again, you know what? How many people have been cast in irons and into darkness and they didn't do anything wrong? You see, come on now. No. Again, what is laid at God's feet when it comes to punishing people, judging people? God doesn't do that. We do that. We decide to take matters into our own hands and do things that God would never think of. Right? Yes? Yet, we lay it at the feet of whom? It's not right. It is not right to do that. All right. Let's keep going. And despised the counsel of the Most High. Therefore he brought down their heart with labor. They fell down, and there was none to help. Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he saved them out of their distresses. You know what? This is just a fairy tale, fiction book here. He brought them out of the darkness and the shadow of death, and broke their chains in pieces. Oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men. For he has broken the gates of bronze and cut the bars of iron in two. Fools, because of their transgression and because of their iniquities, were afflicted. Their soul abhorred all manner of food, and they drew near to the gates of death. Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he saved them out of their distresses. He sent his word and healed them, and delivered them from their destructions. If I remember at the end of this psalm, I'm going to retell a story of someone that I sat with in the 11th hour. Oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men. Let them sacrifice the sacrifices of thanksgiving and declare his works with rejoicing. Those who go down to the sea in ships, who do business on great waters, they see the works of the Lord and his wonders in the deep. For he commands and raises the stormy wind, which lifts up the waves of the sea. Why do you go fishing? For food or for trophies? They mount up to the heavens, they go down again to the depths. Their soul melts because of trouble. They reel to and fro and stagger like a drunken man, and are at their wits' end. Then they cry out to the Lord in their trouble, and he brings them out of their distresses. He calms the storm so that its waves are still. Then they are glad because they are quiet. I wanted to say something, but maybe I should wait. So he guides them to their desired haven. Oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men. Let them exalt him also in the assembly of the people and praise him in the company of the elders. Okay, what did it just say here? Oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness. I wonder how men, not women, men, view the goodness of God. By slaying their enemies? For he satisfies the longing soul and fills the hungry soul with goodness. Those who sat in darkness and in the shadow of death, bound in affliction and irons. Those who sat in darkness, what does it say? For he satisfies the longing soul and fills the hungry soul with goodness. With what kind of goodness exactly? To go out and have the courage to go and slay the enemy? What kind of goodness are we talking about here? I was just wondering. Because so far in the book of Psalms, I feel like God has been misrepresented so often when it comes to the actions, the desires, yes, of a people against other people. That's not unity. That's not that's not God. It has nothing to do with God. So again, for he satisfies the longing soul and fills the hungry soul with goodness. What's that mean? When you've taken, when someone, something has taken a revenge for you, or you have taken revenge against someone, does that satisfy your hungry soul? And then it's connected with goodness. Just wondering. How is this meant in here exactly? According to what else? All the other stuff we read about when it comes to all this stuff. Huh? Yes? Again, how do people understand this? Those who sat in darkness and in the shadow of death, bound in affliction and irons, because they rebelled against the words of God and despised the counsel of the Most High. Therefore he brought down their heart with labor. They fell down, and there was none to help. Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he saved them out of their distress. He brought them out of darkness and the shadow of death and broke their chains in pieces. Did I already read all this? Well, it's okay. Oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men, for he has broken the gates of bronze and cut the bars of iron in two. Fools, because of their transgression and because of their iniquities, were afflicted. Their soul abhorred all manner of food, and they drew near to the gates of death. Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he saved them out of their distresses. He sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions. And delivered them from their destructions. What kind of destructions were there? Did they look at themselves and say, I shouldn't be doing this or that? Those were their destructions. Oh, no. Most likely, it was other people were their destructions. And as long as they were taken care of and destroyed, does it work that way? Does it really work that way? If every person out there addicted to drugs and wants to come clean, if all of their friends who are doing drugs, who are enticing them, if all the drug dealers out there who are selling the drugs to them, if everyone who's growing drugs, this and that, and then shipping them off to the drug dealers would all die, and all the drugs would die out, would it cure the people addicted to drugs? Would it? Or do they have to have a good look at themselves and say, if I didn't want this, if I didn't want these drugs, if nobody would want these drugs, they wouldn't exist. They wouldn't create such heartache and destruction and crime. Yes? Okay. Oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men. Oh, yeah. Let them sacrifice the sacrifices of thanksgiving and declare his works with rejoicing. Those who go down to the sea in ships, who do business on great waters, they see the works of the Lord and his wonders in the deep. For he commands and raises the stormy wind, which lifts up the waves of the sea. They mount up to the heavens. They go down again to the depths. Their soul melts because of trouble. They reel to and fro and stagger like a drunken man and are at their wits' end. Then they cry out to the Lord in their trouble, and he brings them out of their distresses. He calms the storm so that its waves are still. Then they are glad because they are quiet. So he guides them to their desired haven. Oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men. Let them exalt him also in the assembly of the people, and praise him in the company of the elders. He turns rivers into a wilderness, and the water springs into dry ground, a fruitful land into barrenness, for the wickedness of those who dwell in it. He turns the wilderness into pools of water, and dry land into water springs. There he makes the hungry dwell. Then they may establish a city for a dwelling place. To most people, who's a helping hand? Who is that salvation? Who is that water in the desert? Another person. Often, another person. Isn't that true? Guided by whom? And then again, the person looking, wanting, needing, searching for what I just read here has to accept that person. And the commandments, the obedience, and the restoration that comes with it. Otherwise, it's just wishful thinking, right? Oh, I wish. But then when it really happens, oh, I didn't ask for that. Okay. And sow fields and plant vineyards, that they may yield a fruitful harvest. He also blesses them, and they multiply greatly, and he does not let their cattle decrease. When they are diminished and brought low through oppression, affliction, and sorrow, he pours contempt on princes and causes them to wander in the wilderness where there is no way. Yet he sets the poor on high, far from affliction, makes their families like a flock. The righteous see it and rejoice, and all iniquity stops its mouth. That's a bunch of something, whatever. Whoever is wise will observe these things, and they will understand the loving kindness of the Lord. Really? Wow, wow, wow. So you have to throw that last little part in there. Well, I guess I'm not one of the wise. Okay. 107, 108, and 109. Ugh, they're so long. Psalm 108, a psalm of David. O God, my heart is steadfast. You guys don't even want to know what I just heard from Spirit World. Oh, you do? I said, oh God, my heart is steadfast. Remember a Psalm of David? And I got the, yeah, like hell. Okay, all right. You guys, come on. Poor David. Yeah, but we're working on that. So be kind. You are being kind. Yeah, I got it. I will sing and give praise even with my glory. Awake, lute and harp. I will awaken the dawn. I will praise you, O Lord, among the people, and I will sing praises to you among the nations. For your mercy is great above the heavens, and your truth reaches to the clouds. David wasn't supposed to be king. He was supposed to be a songwriter, a singer and songwriter. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens, and your glory above all the earth, that your beloved may be delivered. Save with your right hand and hear me. Okay, so, what's this guy's name? He's a really famous singer and songwriter, but he can't really hold a key. He sings really weird, but he's really famous. He's older now. And in a way, he reminds me exactly of David. He's a singer-songwriter. People love him. Have loved him for generations. He comes up with all these songs. Most of them, I don't personally. I can't find any connection to it. I've never been. Bob Dylan is his name. Never could get. His songs to me are, okay, man, I don't know. Okay. David, if David could have been a singer and songwriter at his time, he would have been a little like Bob Dylan in our time, I think. Yes? I'm not going to get any further into it. As I was never a Bob Dylan fan. I know his songs. Who doesn't? Yes. Uh, not okay. They're just there, yeah, for one reason or another. and and yeah. Anyway, I don't know why that just came to my mind, but yeah, I said it. So be it. Don't be offended. You probably would have something to say about some of the music that I like for the same reasons. So there we are. We're kind of even, right? Yes? Okay. That just came to my mind, so I shared it. God has spoken in his holiness. I will rejoice. I will divide Shechem and measure out the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine, Manasseh is mine. Ephraim is also in the helmet for my head. Judah is my lawgiver. Moab is my washpot. Over Edom I will cast my shoe. Over Philistia I will triumph. That's like so Bob Dylan. Just saying. Doesn't make any sense. Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me to Edom? It is not you, O God, who cast us off. Is it not you, O God, who cast us off? And you, O God, who did not go out with our armies? Oh, whoopity whoop. Give us help from trouble, for the help of man is useless. Through God we will do valiantly, for it is he who shall tread down our enemies. Okay. Somebody forgot, like Bob Dylan sometimes forgot, that we're all creations of a said God. Yet, I'm just saying, did you just hear that? Psalm 109. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Do not keep silent, O God of my praise, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful have opened against me. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue. They have also surrounded me with words of hatred, and fought against me without a cause. Without a cause. Yet he calls himself continuously a sinner. Okay, you know what? David, really? Ugh, you know what? You're such a whiner. Now I just think of you as a whiner as well. I know you're sorry. In return for my love, they are my accusers, but I give myself to prayer. Thus they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love. How did you love them, David? Exactly. Set a wicked man over him, and let an accuser stand at his right hand. When he's judged, let him be found guilty, and let his prayer become sin. Let his days be few, and let another take his office. Let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow. What a nasty curse. Let his children continually be vagabonds and beg. Let them seek their bread also from their desolate places. That's the kind of love that you were talking about, David? Come on now. Let the creditor seize all that he has, and let strangers plunder his labor. Let there be none to extend mercy to him, nor let there be any to favor his fatherless children. Oh, I see why some people didn't like you. Let his posterity be cut off, and in the generation following, let their name be blotted out. He's hanging his head big time. Let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered before the Lord, and let not sin of his mother be let not the sin of his mother be blotted out. Huh? What sin? I have to mention moms now here? Gosh, how much lower are you going to sink? Let them be continual before the Lord, that he may cut off the memory of them from the earth, because he did not remember to show mercy, but persecuted the poor and needy man, that he might even slay the broken in heart. As he loved cursing, so let it come to him. As he did not delight in blessing, so let it be far from him. Didn't he just do the same thing above? As he clothed himself with cursing as with his garment, so let it enter his body like water, and like oil into his bones. Let it be to him like the garment which covers him, and for a belt with which he girds himself continually. Let this be the Lord's reward to my accusers, and to those who speak evil against my person. Wow. That's quite something. But you, O God, the Lord, deal with me for your name's sake. That's why you're still around. You wouldn't be able, David, you wouldn't be able to go to Hyunjin's workshops if you begged on your knees. You have to hear this first. You did say a lot of awful things. Especially, this is so conflicted. Again, this is like fallible. It's like you can't have it both ways. You're doing the same thing you're accusing others of doing. Because your mercy is good, deliver me, for I am poor and needy. And my heart is wounded within me. I am gone like a shadow when it lengthens. I am shaken off like a locust. My knees are weak through fasting, and my flesh is feeble from lack of fatness. You were lying. I also have become a reproach to them. When they look at me, they shake their heads. Help me, O Lord my God. Oh, save me according to your mercy, that they may know that this is your hand, that you, Lord, have done it. Okay, so I started out with my talk to my daughter about teenagers. Oh, at what time was David raised up to become king? Right? What age was he? When he was taken out of his, as being a shepherd, to his flock of whatever, sheep and goats, whatever they were, and decided that some people decided that he was an anointed of God to become king. What age was he? Huh? Thrust into what kind of shoes at that age? And you know what? This speaks very much of that kind of So, having read this, what did I say beforehand? I'm going, man, David, come on. I'm reading this, and I'm hearing that just the desperation out of, I've not been taught. I haven't been taught. I've been a young person, just thrown into the lion pit. Everybody wanting a piece of him in a way. And how is that done? And the position he was in. How's that done? So, yeah. So we have to have some compassion for David as well. Right? All right. Compassion only goes so far, but as I said, must not have been easy. Yes? Okay. I get that too. Oh, he says, thank you. Let them curse, but you bless. When they arise, let them be ashamed, but let your servant rejoice. Let my accusers be clothed with shame, and let them cover themselves with their own disgrace as with a mantle. Okay, I'm understanding this a little bit better here now. There's a lot of people. Yeah. People will have to answer to, and yet, though, you did, yeah, okay, you know what? You can only go so far with blaming others later in life for what happened when you were a teenager. I will greatly praise the Lord with my mouth. Yes, I will praise him among the multitude, for he shall stand at the right hand of the poor to save him from those who condemn him. All right, so I said it's getting to know you. We have the words of so many people in the Bible, different people, and then we try to figure. I try to figure out on how. Why did you do that? Yeah, why are you thinking like this? You've got to know God better than that. And even though, right? Yes, you got to talk it out. What did I just do through the whole 109, 107, 108, 109? Trying to talk it out with David. I said, man, David, seriously? Where do you think you're going with this? And then, right there, who got me into this? And then how did they guide me at the age that I was at? Yeah, later on, but the damage was already done. How was I supposed to get out of that all by myself? So it is important. When you're guiding, what did I start out with? Then we're reading what? That took a bit. It's important to guide teenagers properly. Not just, oh, yeah, they're getting to be adults now. Oh, well, let them go. No, you don't. You treat them as if they are babies again. Yes? Well, they can go to the bathroom on their own and clean their own butt. Yeah, most of the time. Yeah. But there are other things where they are just babies in the adult world, and they need to be guided properly. And as a parent, you need to stand between them and other people out there who don't care. What, you really think they care about your kids? Huh? There are many that do. You surround yourself with those people. But as soon as there is a red flag coming up about someone, you say, stop. Nope. You're not going there. I had to do that with my youngest one. It's very, very sad that I had to do that. But I warned the parents about their own children and what was going on, and I pulled mine out of the situation. Yes, I did. It took about 6 months for my youngest daughter to realize that. Thank you, Mom. I now I know. I came out of the fog I was in about some things. It went well. Yes, that went well. We try. Are we always going to be successful? No, you won't. But at least we try. We never give up. We never give up and we never give in. I do feel for David a little bit more now because I realize that, yeah, he kind of went through. People didn't really care about David being the anointed king. I think people just around him, all them adults, just saw the benefits of him being a young king and what they could get out of him, how they could benefit from that. It wasn't about God, the anointed people. Yes. Very sad, huh? Well, anyway, so my work sent David off to Hyungjanim. I think we found our thread here. Yes? All right. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you and guide you and embrace you with love, and I will talk to you all another time. Now I need to move this so I can get to my exit button. Well, here she is. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Ooh, beautiful face. Yeah, she looks like a lion when she just sits there.